Hi and welcome to Reseller News. My name is Rich Pasini. Today is August 14th, 2019. Thank you for tuning in. I just want to start off by saying thank you to all the new subscribers who recently subscribed to my channel. It is greatly appreciated. I hope you like the content and come back for more. Today's topic is going to be staying safe online. You know, I've read stories before. I got some windows open up and I just want to talk a little about it. Expand a little on the topics. Like I said, I don't want to have about maybe 4 or 5 screen windows opened up, and I just want to expand a little on it. And the reason why I'm doing this video, folks, on the Reseller News, is because a while back I was asked a question, and someone left a comment for me. It was either in a Facebook group or I think the YouTube, and the comment was, "How do I feel about having people come to the house when it comes to selling?" Now, I think that might have pertained to a Facebook marketplace, because on some of my videos I talk about cross-selling and where I sell my items on different platforms. And I mentioned that I did sell, I think it was either 2 or 3 items on Facebook marketplace, which is not a lot, but they're sales, right? So anyway, the person asked me, how do I feel about it? And here's my take on it. You know, it's like anything else. If you're going to sell a used car, unless you go to a dealer, all right. Now, if you're a person that's very, you're very, not keen on having people come to your house. Let's say we're talking about coming to sell a car, you don't want people to come there because you don't want them to know, you don't want them to know where you live or whatever it may be. Especially if it's a bad deal that goes down. Let's say you do sell a car and you forgot to tell a person, oh, I had this work done to it, that work done to it. They may think right away you're trying to scam them or whatever, and who knows? Where does it lead? But back in the day, I've done that. I'm not that. I've sold cars and had them come to my private residence because, that's just the way it was back then. And do we take chances? Of course. You hear stories like that where people will come to the house and take the car for a test drive. Say, can I take it for a test drive? Sometimes the owner of the car will go with them. Sometimes they say, okay, go ahead, because they left their car here. You figure they're going to come back. And then you find out later on the person took the car and decided not to come back. Are there stories that happen like that? Yes, there are. Probably far and few. I don't know. I don't do statistics on it, so I can't really say verbatim how many incidents like that happen. But in regards to dealing on these platforms, and there's multiple platforms out there. There's of course, first one, the eBay, eBay local, right? When you have an offer a local pickup, what'll happen in a case like that is, the person will usually, especially if you're requiring immediate payment, the person will usually pay on eBay or through PayPal, and then they'll make arrangements with you. They'll contact you, or you'll contact them and say, here's my phone number, here's my address, and this is a good time to come pick up that item. I've had stuff like that happen. Not bad, no, where I sold stuff and had to offer a local pickup, and thank God the transactions went good. Person came by, they made the payment through PayPal. One person, I think, paid cash, if I'm not mistaken. I think one paid cash. But anyway, the transactions went good. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. The transactions were good. I had no problem with that there. They came to the house to pick up the items, and there was no problem. On Facebook, it was the same thing. People, now they don't have the payment service. I don't know. I'm not sure if Facebook is going to have something where they're going to make payments like that. Don't quote me. I thought I read or heard something like that. But anyway, I sold a little Disney ceramic picture frame, right? It had the little characters on it. And the person came by. I was waiting out there in the front, and the person came by, and they made the purchase like that. They had the item there for me. So you want to check it out? They took it in the car, paid me the cash, and boom, it was done. It all depends how you feel. Now, if you're a person that feels very uncomfortable with that there, where you don't want to have people come to your house because you're afraid of something happening or something going wrong, then my suggestion is don't use certain services like that. Okay, don't use local pickup, or if you're going to sell something, don't sell it on one of those platforms where you got to go meet somebody. This is for people who are nervous, or like they don't want to, they feel very uncomfortable meeting a total stranger to make a purchase of an item. So that question was asked to me, and I said, I don't have a problem with it right now. I mean, as far as that part goes, suppose you're selling an appliance. What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to bring that appliance. If you have a pickup truck, you're going to bring it there and unload it for them. What do you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just things that you need to have a person come to the house. Yes, is it very uncomfortable to have people come to the house, especially if you're doing a transaction like that? It depends. Again, it all depends. My message to the person, my response to the person with that question was, it all depends how you feel. If there are certain things that can be shipped, you're better off. Here's my take on it. You're better off shipping it out to the person. Okay, if they make a purchase, don't offer a local pickup. Okay, if you're a person that doesn't like the idea of meeting somebody in a parking lot or whatever, don't use those services where you're going to, whatever. There's a whole bunch of different ones. There's Let Go, there's OfferUp, there's Facebook Marketplace, which is a service like that where they come to your residence, or you could also make arrangements to meet people. The line of stories you hear sometimes when it comes to staying safe online and making those purchases. Usually they'll tell you meet at a police station or meet where they have cameras around you so you can see what happened. This way if something happens, they got it pre-recorded, whatever, or meet in an area where there's a lot of people around, whatever. There's things like that you could do too if you don't want to meet them at your private residence. And some people may want to do that, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But what I want to talk about today is I'm going to open up some windows here, and that's today's topic, staying safe online. And the reason why I got to see it is because I got a Google alert. Someone had posted this thing in here, and I just want to share it with you guys. And for those who are new, if you're new to my channel, my name is Rich Pasini. I do the reseller news on this YouTube channel. I also do Let's Talk eBay, along with other different topics that I will be talking about as time goes on. But for the most part, it's basically reseller news and Let's Talk eBay. All right, and the whole purpose and premise behind this YouTube channel is to help people like yourself out, to give you a heads up as to what's going on. I'm sorry about my grandfather's clock going on back there. I should have silenced it, but I forgot. It's 12 noon over here in New York. I'm in the East Coast here. So yeah, anyway, that's what it's all about. It's to help you people out. You and me, we're both learning, because as I said, as we go along, when I share information with you, just as I'm learning, so are you. That's what this whole channel is about. If you are an eBay seller, or whatever platform you sell on, eBay, Amazon, Etsy, Mercari, whatever it may be, Poshmark, I will discuss those things with you. I'll share the news with you. Okay, that's what the reseller news is all about. And Let's Talk eBay, just to give you just a little heads up, Let's Talk eBay is about me, let's say, having I don't know, I just want to share some information with you, maybe something that might have happened with eBay, maybe there's a change in their program, or whatever, and I want to share with you, or something. It's on a personal level. So that's what I talk about. Let's Talk eBay. Nothing bad and stuff like that. If there are problems where I had experienced something with eBay, I will share it on that particular topic there, that segment, Let's Talk eBay. But for all intents and purposes, reseller news is going to be fresh content, new content. Whenever I post it out, I try to do daily posts. Okay, so for those who are not familiar with me, if you want to get acquainted with me, you may want to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. And if you want to be posted as to when I do, updated, when I do post out new listings, you may want to hit that bell notification icon. Remember, folks, this channel is to help you as much as it's going to help me. It's a learning experience on both ends. Okay, when I'm reading the reseller news from all these different sites I get, basically I have two I really like a lot, and I do share them with you guys. It's called ecommercebytes.com, and I also like Tamebay News, tamebay.com. Those are pretty much my two I use right now. Outside of other Google alerts, I get them from different resources, and I get them all the time, every day. I'm always getting alerts on every company you could think about. Well, just the companies I specify. It could be eBay, Amazon. I don't put them all up all the time, Etsy and Poshmark and stuff like that, because the reseller news then will take too long to, go on with, and I don't want to take too much of your time. I know you guys have a busy time, busy day, whatever you're doing, and you may not want to spend 45 minutes to an hour, although I do have videos that have been that long, and I'm sorry about that. It's just that I can't be that cryptic when it comes to sharing information with you guys. I like to condense it and just go quick with it, but I can't. You know, I mean, like you're not going to get the full gist of it. You know what I'm saying? If I just cut parts out of it, you know. So yeah, there are times when the reseller news will protract a lot longer than expected, and I'll tell you that it's going to be a lot longer. You know, in some cases, whether you stay the whole time or not, that's totally up to you. Remember, I'm trying to gain this information for you, so I don't mind doing the research. It takes time out of my busy day too, you know. So, but you know what? I enjoy doing it though, because if you guys out there who do follow me, my loyal subscribers, and even to the new ones who recently subscribed, I hope you become loyal subscribers and stick with me through the end. You're going to get a takeaway from it. It's only natural you're going to take away from it. If you don't, I'm sorry. I mean, I really do put it out there. I put out this information with the intentions to help you guys out. Okay, and like I said again, it's a learning for both of us. Okay, but yeah, that's the whole purpose of this channel, though. The reseller news, and like I said, let's talk eBay. It's to help inspire and share information with you guys out there. So I do hope that you'll keep coming back for more. You know, and the more we build up the subscriber base, the more more members we get, or people, the subscribers that log on to this here, the better. You know, I'm going to share information that's going to be helpful to you, plain and simple. Okay, I don't want to come on here and waste your time. Okay, I don't want to just keep babbling on and keep talking about different things. I want to share different things, new ideas with you, put new information out there so you do get a takeaway from it. Okay, there's a lot of things I didn't know until I started doing the reseller news. So, you know, that's what it's all about. So I do hope you guys will will stick by me and keep, you know, subscribing and liking the channel and like the information I put out. But with that, let's get to the topic. Let's go right now. Let's jump to the screen, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. There's one video. There's two actually on one of the websites. I'm only going to play the one because the other one's like 2 minutes long, and if you guys want, you could play that yourself. I just want to say one thing before we get started. Go into that. For the new subscribers, I do not read everything verbatim on this channel. I will give you the URL. I'll tell you the company where I got the information from, and the rest is up to you to pick up where I left off. But keep this in mind. Now, I do scroll down the page. So let's say you're a person that don't want to go to the website, which I recommend you do, because they have active hyperlinks in there. And the only way you can actually get more information out of that particular website is to actually go to that website and click on the active hyperlink if you want to read more into it, whatever. Or, like I said, I will scroll down to the bottom of the page, and you guys could just pause it, the video, and just read it that way if you decide not to go to that directly to the website, which again, I do recommend you do, but that's totally up to you. That's your call. Okay, so I will, like I said again, I will give you the URL where I got the information from, and the rest is up to you to pick up where I left off. So now, without further ado, let's jump right to it. Okay, our first story is from WQOW.com. This one over here is staying safe when buying or selling online. Okay, I'm going to play this video because you can see it here. I'm going to have to mute my mic as well. It's only 1 minute and 11 seconds long. Please pay attention to it. I always keep a pen and pad with me to take notes. I mean, well, it's going to be on a video, so you could always just replay back, whatever. But I'm just going to play the video. Then I'm going to read a little into it, and then I'm going to go on to the next one. And hopefully, I don't want to expand too much on each topic, and then we're going to close it out. Like I said again, this video is to give you guys a heads up as to when you're selling online, to just be safe and be careful. Okay, so I'm going to play the video clip, and then I'm going to read a little into it, and then we're going to go to the other ones. So I'm going to have to mute my mic. So here we go, folks.
Buying and selling items online is easy with Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, eBay, and more.
But a transaction gone wrong serves as a reminder to stay safe when meeting someone from online in person. In a recent case in Eau Claire, police say a meetup for an online transaction resulted in property being stolen. The case is still under investigation, so officials can't comment on it, but ECPD did offer tips on how to stay safe online, whether you're buying or selling.
When you are meeting, it's important to maybe bring somebody else with you, never meet alone, and meet in a public location that both parties are comfortable with, preferably maybe one with some surveillance cameras.
Other suggestions include withholding personal information like your name, phone number, or home address until right before the transaction. Avoid home pickups if possible, but if it's necessary with something like a large item or furniture, make sure another person is with you during the pickup. For bigger purchases, only accept a cashier's check. If you're receiving cash, double check to make sure the bills don't look or feel strange. And finally, never allow someone in your home or vehicle during that meetup. We have more tips on how to be safe when meeting up for online sales at WQOW.com.
Okay, there you are. You heard the information. I think it's pretty good. For those, like I said again, who are, if you are thinking about selling online or whatever, if you're getting involved with eBay or if you already are with it, just keep this in mind. The next one, I'm going to read a link, so I'm going to go to the next one. The next one's kind of like a sad story, but we're going to get to that in a little bit. But let's read a little into this here. It says buying and selling online is easy with Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, eBay, and more. But a transaction gone wrong serves as a reminder to stay safe when meeting someone from an online in person. In a recent case, Eau Claire police say a meetup for an online transaction resulted in property being stolen. Okay, the case is still under investigation, so the officials can't comment on a specific incident, but did offer tips on how to stay safe online, whether buying or selling. Okay, now I'm not going to read more into this here. Okay, if you want to play this video clip again, you could just play the video over again, or just go right to the website. Like I said again, I recommend you go to the website itself. But I'll scroll down here in case you decide not to. And that's basically it. I don't think there's much to read here. I think the rest is advertisements down below, so we're not going to do that. But if you want, you can go to the website yourself and you can check it out. Now the next story is kind of sad. Again, it deals with online, and I'm gonna show you the tape. I'm not going to play the video because it's a little over 2 minutes, but you guys could do that yourself. So let's go right there right now. Okay. This story is a sad story, folks. It has a very, as you can see, it has not a happy ending, that's for sure. It says teen shot dead in front of a dad as the thugs tried to rob him of his Xbox. The story was posted June 14, 2019. And it goes on to say, I'm not going to read too much into it, folks. Like I said again, there are active hyperlinks over here. You could go right to the website. Let me give you the URL first before we even get started. It's www.nypost.com. You could read this story, but I'm going to read a little into it, and then we're going to go to the next one there, and we're going to close this video out, hopefully. It goes over here. An Indiana teenager was shot dead in front of his dad when a pair of men tried to rob his Xbox he was trying to sell, according to a new report. Johnny Polvera, if I'm saying his name, sorry, 16, made a 20-minute trip with his father from their home in Maryville to Gary to sell a gaming console to someone they had contacted through the app OfferUp, authorities told ABC 7 Chicago. Now, I'm not going to read too much into this, folks. Again, if you want, I will scroll down and you could pick up the story where it left off. You're going to see some other advertisements here. I'm sorry, folks. It's not my fault. Here's another story that picked up the news. Like I said, again, very, very depressing. I don't want to read too much into this here. You could, read it. That's the boy's mother, unfortunately. I feel bad. I really do. It's really disheartening to hear that there. Here's a son and stuff. And but again, if you want to, check out the video, I'm not going to play it. I already did play it, and it's, to me, it's very sad to listen to, to seeing the poor mother grieve like that there. The purchase, the supposed purchase was going to be through the company OfferUp. All right. I'm not saying because these services are bad or not. Like I said, they're bad because of the situation. Unfortunately, this turned out to be not a good deal. It turned out to be bad as we know. But for the most part, there are people that do use these services, OfferUp, LetGo, Facebook Marketplace, and even eBay local pickups. We just have to be safe. We just have to be safe, and we got to be careful. Again, this is not to deter anybody from, selling online or anything, but you just need to be careful. You just got to be very careful as to where your whereabouts and where you're going and so on and so forth, where you're going to meet these people. But just be cautious. And again, if you don't feel comfortable with it, don't offer that. Don't offer to meet anybody. That's all I can tell you. All right. The story here, you can read it. Again, I gave you the URL, so we're going to move to the next one here. And this story here is 5 ways to stay safe online. It goes over here. This story came out. Well, this again. Now this is old now. Okay, I'm sorry, guys, but I thought I'd share it with you guys. This came out January 16, 2014. It goes on to say, beware of selling online. We all heard the news. We all heard news stories that Craigslist meeting has gone away, from losing money through fraud or robberies to meet up as resulting in assault or worse. We've heard the stories of eBay buyers claiming that their items never came or arrived damaged. Skip McGrath is a guy, another one I talked to. I follow him on his, what do you call it, their Facebook group. Actually, he's got a website too. Author of The Complete Idiot's Guide to eBay. Says chances are slim that anything bad will happen to you. You might sell 1,000 things on Craigslist and never have anything happen. He says even still, he takes extra precautions to make sure he's safe. Now, this here has a slideshow here. I think a total of 6. Okay. Now I'm gonna just go through them really quick. Let me give you the URL first before this way you could check it out for yourself. Like I said again, I don't want to keep this too long. The URL is www.bankrate1word.com. Okay. And if not, you could just do a Google search. Just type in 5 ways to stay safe when selling online. Okay. Now, if I go through the slideshow, we'll just see what they say. You know, it's just basically it's got a 2 of 6. It's going to stay over here. Stay safe. I'm going to read the highlights. Stay safe when meeting a person. All right, in person here. The next one is here. Let's see. They have another one here because I know they have a total of 6. The next one is accepting checks. Now, again, I don't know. Me personally, you know, I'm not really crazy about checks. Okay. A money order, yeah, because it's already been prepaid. But a check, I don't know. It could easily be canceled out, whatever. You know, they could void it, whatever. I don't know. I'm not too crazy about the checks, folks. That's totally to you. I would prefer to get paid by PayPal. Now, like I said again, I had that happen. I'm trying to think what I sold. I think I sold an office chair or one of those items. And anyway, oh no, I know what it was. And I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting a little confused here. It was a Sony radio, portable radio, and I remember the guy. I met him out front, and he came by, and you know, he took I forgot he paid through PayPal, so I handed over the radio to him, and I go, excuse me, I go, you forgot to pay. He goes, I paid through PayPal. I said, oh my gosh, I said, I'm so sorry. I go, I wasn't thinking about that. I had so many other things in my mind, but I'd rather get paid like that. I mean, I did have people paying cash, but for that particular time, I guess I had a lot of different things going on at the same time when that gentleman was coming by to pay. And but anyway, long story short, cash is good, all right, if you're going to get cash, but I like it through PayPal. I prefer PayPal when you're going to have a local pickup, especially if it's being on eBay. I don't know how you guys feel. It goes. Let's just read a little into it, though, okay? Fortunately, counterfeit cash is not a big problem. Says, I guess that's the guy, Sung, whatever his name. Sorry if I can't pronounce it right. But when dealing with more than $100, he recommends getting paid online with a service like PayPal, which I strongly believe in, or a cashier's check to avoid issues. Personal checks can be problematic because you don't know whether the accountant has the funds, whether it's a fake, or whether the check was printed using a stolen identity. He says Sung, I think his name is Sayung. And then it goes on to say here, cashier's checks, while easy to cash, they do have potential fraud issues. They have gotten much easier to counterfeit in recent years, says Sung, whatever. His name, I can't say his name too good. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. But anyway, going forward, the best thing to do is just accept PayPal if you're going to do a transaction, especially if it's through eBay. Let them pay through PayPal. You know, that's the best way to do it anyway. At least you're protected. He's protected. You're protected. It's the best way to go. The next one over here is Don at whatever to give out personal. I guess they use it as just give you an example. Give out personal contact information. This one goes on to say here on Craigslist, it's easy to mask your identity by using their automatically generated anonymous email address, which is then forwarded to your personal email address. Don't give out your address or phone number on the post, says McGrath. That's the Skip McGrath he was talking about. An interested buyer can email you through Craigslist, and you could respond. Again, I don't sell too much on Craigslist. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've ever done any business on Craigslist. I advertised on Craigslist in the past, and I really never got any feedback from anybody there. I don't know, maybe they just didn't like the odds I was selling. I think I was selling HP printers, and I never got any feedback or anybody ever contacted me. So I'm not too crazy about Craigslist. I'm sure they're good, but for me, it didn't work back then. Okay, so let's move along to the next one here. Ensuring the item is received. Okay, now again, if it comes to selling, let's just read a little into it, and then I'm going to share my information with you guys. It says over here, when you sent the package to the buyer, you even have delivery confirmation from the post office, but now the buyer says he or she didn't receive it. How can you prevent this from happening in the future? One scam is someone falsely claims that the package never arrived, says Skip McGrath. For that reason, he recommends positive tracking, meaning signature. That's what I was just about to tell you. A signature is required for delivery. Okay. I said this in my other videos. If you're a person that got burnt once, twice, whatever, I wouldn't make it 3 times. Getting burnt once is enough. If you ever had a situation where you're selling an item to a buyer in the past, and the buyer claimed they never got it, send it with signature delivery confirmation, because somebody's going to have to physically sign for that package. There should be no reason why that they didn't get it, especially with a signature on it. And it goes on to say here, just reading into it, let me just get back to this again. With signature is required at delivery, so it's harder for the recipient to make that claim. Delivery tracking shows only that the item was dropped off, which is true. The post office, when they drop a package off, and I seen it here at my own private residence. If I'm ordering something from eBay or whatever, like it would be toner cartridge and ink cartridge, that's basically what I buy from eBay. The letter carrier will just scans it in. You hear the beep, and then he just drops it off and he leaves. That's his job. Once it's left at the doorstop, that's it. Okay, and it even says over here, it says the item is dropped off, but it could be left on the doorstep, and there's no way to ensure it went to the right address or that the right person received it. There's no proof of delivery, says McGrath. Now, again, I'm all in favor for that. I was doing it. I said that there even before I read this just now, and I didn't read this story, but I just read it just now with you guys. I'm a firm believer. If you're going to send out electronics, like laptops, high-end electronics, Apple computers, whatever, watches, jewelry, things of that nature, send it with signature delivery confirmation and pad the extra cost into your shipping costs. So if, let's say it costs $3 and change for signature delivery, just pad it into your pricing. That's all, as far as shipping costs, and you'll be covered that way. This way, the buyer can't say, I never received it, because somebody's got to physically sign for it. It's not like delivery confirmation. The letter carrier say, I scanned it in, I delivered it at the address, but suppose it's dropped off at the address or your house, and somebody's walking across, they see it there, sitting on your porch, they run up and take it. Now, I did a video about that porch thieves. Again, it's in one of my videos, I don't know where it is, but you can check it out. It's all about that there, how people were stealing items off of people's porches. Okay, so in order to avoid that headache, especially if you got burnt once, whatever, definitely use the signature delivery confirmation. Even though you say, but I got delivery, it doesn't mean nothing. Please, for your own peace of mind, use the signature confirmation. This way, someone's got to physically sign for it. Yeah, so that's a good one right there. Like I said, I didn't get a chance to read everything here, folks. So that's why I said this caught my eye as soon as I read that. I said this guy's spot on. And next one here is 6 out of 6. Insurance. Okay, they got this number here. I don't know what they put up there. And guarding against swap out scams. Now, I'm not familiar with the swap out scams. I thought I heard something like that once before. Let's read a little more into this here. It says the most popular eBay scam is when someone buys something identical to a broken one they already have, says McGrath. Then, when a purchase arrives, they swap out the good item with their broken one and send it back, claiming it arrived damaged. Okay, now, all right, I wasn't aware of that there. I know in some cases, when I send stuff out from my location, I always make sure the thing's working, it's tested, and everything else. Thank God I haven't had any problem like that. Although there was one situation where, sometimes it can't be prevented. I sent out a ceramic lamp. It was really packed well, and it was in perfect condition. I did a video on it. I took pictures of it. I showed you how it was packed in there. As a matter of fact, I had one of those videos out there in regard about that ceramic lamp. Beautiful lamp. It was for outdoors. And when it arrived to the buyer, it got damaged there. But there was no way this could have got damaged because I had styrofoam packed all around it. It would have to been dropped from a high place, or I don't know how. But all I know is that thing was wrapped and bubble wrapped with ceramic, styrofoam around it. But that was the only time I had an issue like that where something got broken like that. That was I had to put a claim in for it. As far as swapping out stuff, I can honestly say I never had a thing like that. I had returns in the past, but I never had somebody swap out something and give me back an exchange for, let's say they gave me something broken. Let's say I was selling a perfect cell phone, an iPhone, whatever, and the person got it and said it arrived damaged, and they do the swap out. Now, I wasn't too familiar about the swap out scams, to be honest with you. Okay, that I wasn't too familiar with. I've heard of stories where people will get things and I did a story once before about this guy was selling a Commodore 64, I think it was, keyboard. All right, and he sent it out. It was perfect condition, had all the keys on there, and then he did a video about it because he knew, he kind of figured that something was wrong with it, the way the buyer was talking about it. And when he got it back, before he even opened it up, he did a video on it. And let me tell you, when I seen how that thing arrived, it was horrible. All the keys were picked out of it. They broke open the case. They took out like a little processing board, a microprocessor board. They stripped that thing. And do you want to know something? It was done through eBay. And because I don't know what was the situation, but all I know is the buyer and the seller actually ended up taking a beating on it. He had the proof and everything, but at that time there, it was just, it wasn't in his favor. But anyway, you're going to have things like that happen to you. But that's why you got to take precaution whenever you're doing stuff like this, especially when it comes to selling stuff on eBay. Take photos, take a lot of pictures. If it's something that's wrapped up in a package, like I had to do that there with the guitar. I was selling a Guitar Hero Rock Band guitar thing, and I had a bundled package with it. It had the strap in there, it had the dongle in there, right, and it also had a microphone. And if it was all wrapped up in a package, that's how I bought it from the thrift store. You wouldn't know what was in there, so I had to physically take it out, and it was all sealed too. It was all brand new. I even said I had to take out the package. I had to take the items out of the package, and take a picture of them each. Not all individually wrapped, left down at the counter. But I wanted to make sure that if anybody said anything, the buyer said I never received this, that, and the other thing, I said, well, you're wrong because I got pictures of it, and that's what I had to do. So if you ever get in a situation where you got a bundled item like I had, take it out of the package and take pictures of it. If it's 3 multiple items, 4 multiple items, make sure you got it like that. This way, if they ever comes to a situation where the buyer says, well, it was missing this, that, and the other thing, you'll have proof. All right. You're going to have to do things like that. You're going to have to take, you got to take precautions when it comes to selling on eBay or any of these platforms, because you're going to have situations like that where people are going to try to, take advantage of the situation, But anyway, let's read a little into this here. It says over here, the most popular eBay scam is when someone will buy something identical or broken to the one you already have, says McGrath. Then when the purchase arrives, they swap out the good item with the broken one or send it back claiming it arrived damaged. To prevent this from happening, take a detailed pictures of the item or any identification marks when posting on eBay, says McGrath. Some sellers even use metal engravers to put secret mark on their certain spots. Is a precaution you take for something like $1,000 vase or not a vintage plate worth $10, he says. Now, all right. Now, I heard about the engraving things, but it depends, again, what you're selling, again, you know what I'm saying? But you see here, again, now here's the thing. If you have something like this, and let's say you're a little like, you're a little like, you don't feel too comfortable. Let's say it was something like a $1,000 vase. In some cases, I would say with something like that, again, it depends. It all depends. It depends, if you take it to a company to have it, packaged and shipped out. Of course, you're going to put insurance on it, but in cases like that, you may want to have somebody come to your residence and pick it up. This way, that when you handed it over to them, physically hand it over to the person, it's in one piece. Now, if they get it to their car on the way and they pay for it, and they get it on their, get to their car, and the thing drops right before they put it in their car. Now, here's the question: what are they gonna say? That's it. You bought it, you own it. That's your problem now, right? So, again, with something like that, that's kind of like a little iffy thing. It depends. $1,000 vase, that's something you might want to reconsider, especially if you don't feel comfortable shipping something like that. Depends how delicate the ceramic is, and it's very thin or whatever. And I don't know. With me, I'm a little. That's a little. What do you call it? They're a little funny for me in that respect. I don't know if that there. I would probably, thinking about it now, even though it's just a hypothetical, I don't know if I would probably send that out in the mail because I'd be afraid. I mean, then again, you're going to have insurance on it, no doubt, if you do send it with the postal service, and definitely insure for $1,000. No doubt. Here's the only thing: if it is appraised at $1,000 with the Postal Service, they will not appraise it like what you think it is. So if you say, well, I think the thing is worth $5,000, I don't think they're going to pay you. That's why I understand they ain't going to pay you for what you think it's worth. They're going to go by what it's worth. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like in other words, or what you sold it for. That's what happened with the ceramic lamp I sold, that outdoor patio lamp. I sold it to the lady. I think it was for $50, and they paid me the money for it, right? But that was it. They didn't pay me for the the shipping charges. So if the thing was $15, $20, whatever to ship it, I wasn't getting that there. The Postal Service, the way I understand it, does not pay you the shipping cost. They'll pay you the value of it, and they want it done online. Okay, that's what I was told. We do it online, and you send them all the pictures, right? If it's broken, like how the buyer got it, that's what happened. The buyer sent me the pictures. I sent them to the Postal Service, through online, and you put your claim online. And they also want to see the transaction detail as to what it's sold for. So you're not going to trick them and say, well, I sold it for $500 when you only sold it for $50. They're going to want proof of that there, you know what I'm saying? At least that's the way it worked for me. And I would never do anything like that anyway. I would never try to, do anything shady like that. And I wouldn't recommend anybody to do that. But anyway, let's read a little more in here, okay? Because this is the last one. It says shipping insurance could also help avoid these losses and hassles. Sometimes it is included in by the carrier, and sometimes you'll pay extra, which you will, because I think the way it is with just going forward, if you use USPS Priority Mail, you're covered up to $50 automatically. Anything over that, you're going to pay. All right, so it goes on to say here, he prefers a third-party insurance because it is less expensive. He says the claims process is faster and easier. I don't know. I thought the Postal Service claim was pretty fast and easy for me. I got my check within a couple of days, so I didn't have any problem with it. He puts the carrier's business cards in each package, so if there is a problem, the receiver can make a claim and leave him out of the process. All right. Then it says with eBay, you get up to $2,000 in seller protection, but you must use PayPal for payment and ship to the buyer's confirmed PayPal address. Even if it's a gift for someone or else, do not ship it to anywhere other than the confirmed PayPal address. Otherwise, you will lose that seller's protection. Okay, so you see, folks, be careful with this here. And again, like I said, I don't want to get too much into this. I know I'm probably expanding a lot on it. It's just that I want you guys to be careful out there. And when you think about it, I'm just going to pan over to the next page here on YouTube. You can look at YouTube, and they have so many videos out there: being safe online, trolling the internet, being safe on the internet, and so on and so forth. You can just scroll down here, and they got so many different videos for you to watch for yourself outside of watching my videos. But they have quite a bit of videos here about staying safe online, and I'm sure all these creators are putting out good information. And if you want to check them out as well, you can. But you can see they got quite a bit here. Okay. So there are a lot of videos out there, and it just gets to keep going and going and going. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that. But anyway, guys, let me close out this video. Well, that concludes the reseller news for August 14th, 2019. I just want to say thank you again to all the new subscribers who recently subscribed to my channel. It is greatly appreciated. I hope you like the content and you come back for more. And for those who are new, I hope you get a takeaway from the information I put out. I hope it's helpful. You get a little, information about, in this particular case, staying safe online when it comes to buying and selling. Nobody wants to get ripped off. We all want to do things, and we want to have a smooth transaction. I know I do. I have to honestly say, in regards to my situations I had with people coming to my private residence, it was okay. I didn't really have any problem, thank God, knock on wood, so to speak. But for the most part, again, if you are a person that doesn't feel comfortable with it, my suggestion is don't use those other services that you're gonna have to physically or go to the person and meet them somewhere. If you don't feel comfortable, don't do it. I would not allow my kids to do things like that. Okay. Especially with today, like I said, you don't know who you're meeting. There's too many stories out there, not ones I heard recently, but outside the ones I was talking about before. I'm sure there are other ones. I didn't do too much research on that there, but I know there's been other situations like that similar to those stories, and it's really sad because, like I said, we as online sellers, we're very trustworthy, and we do things with an open, contrite heart. I know I do anyway. When I'm selling stuff like that, if I'm having somebody come to the house, I feel comfortable with these people, and to a point where I never had anything. Like I said, there was never a situation, thank God, where I've gotten stiffed like that. Outside of that story, just sharing with the radio, I gave the guy the radio. He puts it in his car, and I'm over there. He's looking. He goes, "What?" I go, "You didn't pay." And he goes, "I paid through PayPal." I said, "Oh my God, that's right." I said, "I'm sorry." I go, my mind's going a mile a minute. It's true. But that was the best way to do it, though. I mean, and what's really good. And the guy was a nice guy. He lives local. He lives in the area back. Actually, he lives around here. He goes like a couple blocks away. Yeah, I really don't feel too uncomfortable with it. I don't know, maybe because it's a guy thing or whatever, but what's to say, right? A guy, whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I'm just saying, for women out there, young girls and stuff like that, you might want to bring somebody with you if you're going to meet somebody in there. I'll give you a quick story, really quick. I was over at the local shopping center over here, and they have over here in my town, they have a Walmart, and they have a big Stop and Shop supermarket. They're all combined together. Big parking lot, they got cameras all around. And I remember I took a walk up there because I was going to the local store, and I remember seeing this guy. He had I don't know if he was selling a Jeep or something, but he had on a car carrier. And I knew he was doing a transaction there. He must have met the guy, the buyer there. And the guy was looking at the car because it was on the car carrier, and he was checking it out. He's looking inside and stuff like that. And I guess he wanted to make sure, which makes sense. But it was smart. The guy who was selling the car went to that parking lot, and they have cameras all around there, closed circuit TV cameras around there, monitoring that parking lot. So if a deal did go bad, they got the information right there, which is good. If I had to, now the more I think about it, if I was to do something like that, if I had to meet somebody, I would probably meet in that parking lot. And daytime, of course, you don't meet. Now, in the wintertime comes around, it gets dark. It gets dark pretty quick. All right, usually 4:30, 5 o'clock, it starts getting dark. You might not want to do that. If you're going or if you're going to make arrangements with the person, definitely do it during the day, maybe on a weekend when you're off from work. I know when I was working my job, I used to get off of work at 5 o'clock. By the time I got home in the wintertime, it was starting to get dark. So I don't really like to do things like that. The summertime, you could probably get away with it because the day's a little longer. But for the most part, you're better off doing things during the daylight, of course. And again, always bring somebody with you and go to an area like that. And if you do, if you do feel very uncomfortable with it, like you said there, like I heard from many other people too, go to a local police station and say, "I'll meet you at the police station," and you can get the cops to head up. "Hey, I'm making a transaction. Can you just stand by here or just hang out or whatever, who hang out by the window or something, just make sure everything's cool, copacetic." But yeah, you could do something like that too, as you were seeing in that video. Yeah, but that's basically it, guys. I don't want to spend too much time. I probably did already. I'm sorry I'm rambling on. Like I said, I want to put this information out there for you guys to be safe, and don't let it deter you from selling on eBay and stuff like that. This is not, let me put it this way. I'm not here to make any derogative statements about the companies I mentioned, okay? Talking about OfferUp, LetGo, and stuff like that. They're good sites, Craigslist and stuff like that. People can, there are people that do conduct business on those sites, okay? And like I said, Facebook Marketplace, I've used it, okay? Like I said, I'm on eBay. I sell exclusively right now on eBay. Well, I'd say outside the cross platforms, but that's my main function one, the eBay. I had people come by the house and make the transaction. It was pretty good deal. Like I said, everything was good. The only thing I will say is this: if you are selling a car on eBay and you are going to have somebody local come to look at it, this is the best way to avoid a problem. Okay, and I'm saying this from the heart. I am upfront and honest when it comes to things like that. If I was selling a car, which I'm not, but when I did sell my car, the ones I had in the past, I had a stack of repair bills. Now, when a person bought a car from me, I told them exactly what was done with the car. If it had brakes, it had an oil change and stuff like that. I also have the documentation. I also have the bills to prove it. Now, if you feel uncomfortable, I used to get the bills. I used to cross out my information if I was paid with a charge card, where I cross it out, whatever, blank it out, whatever. And I would give the buyer all the paperwork that was done to the car. Okay, this way there will be no repercussion. And if, let's say, the guy brought it there to get brakes done, and I lied to him, I said I had the brakes done. He goes, well, no, according to them, you didn't. At least if you had the paper, you said, well, here's the brakes that were done here, whatever. It's always good to be upfront and honest when it comes to selling a car, because remember one thing: people are coming to your house to pick up that vehicle. I've sold, like I said, in the past, I sold a couple vehicles like that, older cars, and thank God the transaction went good. The person didn't come back or a call up or anything like that. I never had any repercussion from the buyer. Why? Because I was upfront and honest. I had a stack of, the bills that was done to the car. If it had brakes, tires, oil change, transmission change, whatever it was, refurbished, whatever. I gave them all the paperwork. Okay. Now, if the car breaks down later on after that, the engine goes or transmission goes, that has nothing to do with me. I don't know when that stuff is nobody knows. So they can't really get mad at you, I mean, could you imagine that you sell a car and you're a private guy, so you don't give a 90-day warranty. It's not like eBay say, oh, seller protection. But then again, I guess if you are selling it through eBay, I guess that would fall under seller protection. I don't know. I never sold a car through eBay. I was always done through my local newspaper. That's how we did it back in the day. The bylines, they had a thing called bylines. And all the bylines it's a tabloid. I don't know if they still even have it. And they had cars and cars, you name it, all the makes and models, whatever, and the different towns, Queens, New York City, Long Island, whatever, for the area, the closest areas here, the surrounding areas. It was called the bylines. And but that's how I ended up selling the cars. So I didn't do anything back then. eBay wasn't even in existence. I'm talking about in the 80s, because eBay, if you quite know, eBay I think was started in 1995. So when I was selling these cars, it was done back in the 80s, like 82, 83, whatever, But that's how we did it. That's how we did it. And, now with eBay, when you're buying a car for eBay, I'm sure they have a seller protection there. I'm quite sure. I didn't really venture into it. I would think if everything else has got seller and buyer protection, it would definitely be with the car. So that would be a pretty good thing too, if you're going to sell a car like that. Listen, not everything, just because you hear news and stuff like that about certain things, it doesn't mean it's definitely going to always be an offset. It's not going to, you can't say, well, because of it, it's going to, hurt businesses. It may make people think a little different. And in other words, they may think different, like as far as like, well, I don't know if I like the idea, checking out that story, me doing business, meeting somebody. You may not want to, but don't let it, stop you from doing business. Like, don't give up on your eBay dreams, or if you're an online seller, don't let that, be a burden to you. Stick with it. I'm not letting that, I mean, look, as sad as the stories are, I want to still keep doing what I'm doing with eBay. I'm still going to keep doing it. I'm still going to, I want to keep doing this business the best I can, and hopefully make a decent living out of it. I'm hoping, but definitely don't give up on you. Don't give up on your dreams, folks. Never give up. I can't say it enough. Like I said, I mean, people at times who watch my videos may think like that I'm like an optimist, and I'm not. I mean, a pessimist. I'm more of an optimist than a pessimist. I'm still in the game, and I plan on staying in the game. But that's why I do the reseller news, folks. It's not to make any derogatory statements on any companies or anybody in particular. It's just to help people out. And if I can get that information out to you guys, and again, if you get a takeaway from it, that's the most important thing. But anyway, I don't want to keep rambling on. I'm very grateful if you were able to watch this video to the end. That'd be great. Again, I just want to say thank you again to all the new subscribers who recently subscribed to my channel, and I do hope you get a takeaway from it. And lastly, if you do like this video or any of my videos, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. And if you want to be updated as to when I post out new videos, please don't forget to hit that bell notification icon. My name is Rich Pasini. You're watching Reseller News for August 14th, 2019. Until next time, bye-bye now.